Master strategies to write trigonometric ratios with related acute angle. I am Anil Kumar, sharing with you a beautiful question from one of our subscribers. He wants to understand how do we write equivalent ratios with related acute angle. We have taken 7 examples here, which include sine functions, cosine functions, and tangent functions. Another thing which you'll notice is that we are also taking care of negative angles and angles greater than 360 degrees. So all types of variations have been taken care of. I'm going to explain a very simple strategy which will help you to write this answer within few seconds, right? So first, what is related acute angle? When we say related acute angle, it means that the angle which normally we may write as alpha is less than 90 degrees, right? And is greater than 0 degrees. So that is the related acute angle. On a coordinate plane, you will notice that we are talking about the first quadrant, means quadrant 1. So in quadrant 1, it is from 0 degrees to 90 degrees, correct? So that is where our focus is. Now, when we take sine, cosine, and tangent functions, we also know that in our quadrant system, these ratios can be positive or negative. Now, in quadrant 1, all are positive. In quadrant 2, sine is positive. In 3, tan is positive. And in 4, cosine is positive. So, this concept will also be heavily used in answering the questions. Now, let's look into the first example, which is for us sine of 250 degrees. Now, when I say 250 degrees, on this coordinate plane, let's try to figure this out. Where will 250 be? So starting with 0, going ahead, it will be kind of less than 270, right? Somewhere here. So the terminal arm will be in quadrant 3. Since the terminal arm is in quadrant 3, and you know that this has to be negative, correct? Using the rule which you can remember as all silver teacup, all are positive in quadrant 1. Sine is positive in quadrant 2. Tan in quadrant 3. Cosine in quadrant 4. Or popular in North America, cast rule. Cos in quadrant 4. All in quadrant 1. Sine in 2. Tan in 3. Correct? Any rule you want, but in quadrant 3, as you know, sine is going to be negative. So we put negative sign since the terminal arm is in quadrant 3 for sine 250. Now acute angle, what is acute angle? Rather related acute angle. Related acute angle is always measured with the horizontal line and the terminal arm. So here that is the angle we are talking about, correct? Since it is 250 in all, the principal angle, this angle will be 250 minus 180, correct? So that gives you an angle of 70 degrees, correct? 250 minus 180 degrees will give you 70 degrees. And therefore, we can write this as sine of related acute angle 70. You get the whole idea. So two things you have to find: the angle which the terminal arm makes with the horizontal and the quadrant in which the trigonometric ratio is. Well, let's do the second example to be absolutely clear. Now this time what we have is sine of negative 300 degrees. So negative really means that you'll go clockwise. Counterclockwise is positive, negative is clockwise. So starting with here, the 0, positive x-axis, if you go 300 degrees, then it is 270 plus 30, correct? 270 plus 30, will give you 300 degrees, and so that will be the angle which is minus 300. So once you reach this particular area, you know you are in quadrant 1 in which everything is positive. Correct? So you put the sign positive, quadrant 1, and related acute angle is the angle which the terminal arm makes with horizontal. You've already gone through 300, 60 is left, correct? 360 is full circle, so it becomes positive sine of 60 degrees. Makes sense? See how simple it is. So we have taken example with sine, both positive and negative angle. Now here we have sine of 420 degrees. Now when I say sine of 420 degrees, it means what? Well, 420 is more than 360. So that means you'll go more than a circle. How much more? 360 plus 60, right? So basically, you'll go one full circle and then more, correct? So, and then you reach somewhere there, and that becomes yours 360 plus 60, and you reach 60 more than the 0, right? Because these are periodic waves. It repeats after every 360. You are in quadrant 1, definitely it is positive, and you can see related acute angle is 60 degrees. So it is also equal to sine 60 degrees, correct? Perfect. So sine of minus 300 is same as sine of 420 degrees, which is also same as sine of 60 degrees. Makes sense, right? So I hope you have understood with sine. Now, same concept is to be followed when we work with cosine. Okay, great. So we are now looking at cos of minus 80 degrees. So let's make a new diagram here. That one is kind of messed out now. Okay, so let's do a smaller one. So when I say cos of minus 80, it means that we'll go clockwise 80 degrees. Now, clockwise 80 degrees, this is minus 80. As you can see, with the horizontal, you make still the angle of 80 degrees. And as per the cos rule, right, you know, cos is going to be positive. You are in quadrant 4 with an acute angle of 80, right, which makes with the horizontal. So it will be cos of 80 degrees. Makes sense? So that is how you need to figure it out. Now, can you do the next one? Cos of 120 degrees. Perfect. Let's rewrite. We have cos of 120 degrees, positive angle. So we're going to move in counterclockwise direction. 120 is 60 less than 180, correct? Kind of like this, right? This is 120 degrees. And what is the related acute angle? Angle which the terminal arm makes with the horizontal line. It doesn't matter whether the horizontal line is on the left side or on the right side. And remember, this acute angle is always considered positive. Perfect. So it is 60 degrees, correct? Since you are in quadrant 2, where cos is negative, only sine is positive here, right? So we get negative here and cos of 60 degrees. Makes sense, correct? Easy, right? So now let's move on with tan function. So tan ratio of 830 degrees. So where is going to be 830 degrees? Okay, so let's make another diagram for tan and then figure this out here. And the small one. Tan 830, one full circle 360, another circle 720. So it is 720 plus how much? 110, right? So 110 will be kind of here, right? So there you end up. So that is your 830 degrees. Two circles, 720, and then 120, right? So 120 means to 180, 120 plus 60 will give me 180. So the related acute angle is 60. So now let me rewrite this as tan 830 degrees is equal to tan of, you can see 120 degrees, right? Which is, now you'll end up in quadrant 2. Tan is negative here, right? And the acute angle is 60. So we'll write negative tan 60. Makes sense. So you could split it into steps as we just did. Perfect. However, the strategy remains same. where is the terminal arm? If the terminal arm is in a quadrant where the trigonometric ratio is negative, we'll get a negative answer. Perfect. Now, the last question for you, which is tan of minus 225. Minus means you'll move clockwise. 225 clockwise. Let's go. So from here, 180, right? And 20 is 200, and then 25 more, 145. Correct? So there you land, correct? So 225. So when you go to 225, as we did the calculation, 225 is what? 180 plus how much is 225? 45. So the related acute angle is 45. You are in quadrant 2, and therefore it's negative tan of 45 degrees. Do you see that? So minus 225, you get 180 plus 45, right? Going negative, you land up in quadrant 2 where tan is negative. Therefore, we have negative tan, related acute angle made with the horizontal is 45 degrees, and so you get 45 degrees. So I hope with this you have clearly understood how do we plot and then figure out equivalent ratio with related acute angle. Perfect. Feel free to write your comments, share your views. If you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for your valuable time and all the best.